Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the AWB broadcast. God damn it! This is why you're not on the TV and radio, Ali. It's because of fuck ups like that. You got to be disciplined. You got to be ready. I do no prep. Never do prep. I am Ali Woods, though. This is the Ali Woods broadcast. This is episode 8. Thank you so much. If you're still listening, can't believe you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, man. This is awesome. How cool is this? I've been getting more messages from people talking about listening to the podcast, binging it, which apparently is a thing that people are doing with this podcast. So I really appreciate you. As always, I'm going to start. Well, firstly, I hope you're doing well. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're doing well. The sun is out and has been for 2 days, and that is a record this year. I can't believe it. Gorgeous. Yesterday, after watching the dismal England game, I had a few friends round. We went out, sat on the artificial grass near where we live. They had a TV on showing the Italy-Spain game. We got pizzas, beers. You forget how good life can be sometimes. Especially when you're living in the grey of the UK and London. You forget how wonderful and blissful life can be. Especially me, because I never spend evenings with my friends. I'm usually working. I'm gigging. The prospect of having an evening where I just get to chat to people I love and care about, find out about their lives, it's a wonderful thing. Got no joke there for you guys, but genuinely what I'll say is, the revelation I've had this week is that spending time with friends is good. I never knew. Appreciate you messaging on the YouTube channel. Thank you so much to everyone here. Anna Sanchez, Anagon5641 rolls off the tongue. Relationships were easier for our parents' generations. As millennials, sometimes we expect too much. Thanks for the podcast. It is so genuine. Appreciate you very much, Anna. It's an interesting one, actually, because I suppose, probably relationships were easier in terms of getting into them for boomers, because there's just less choice, fewer options. I mean, that is the big thing that seems to hold people back in dating, in London specifically. I don't know about elsewhere in the country or the world, but the point is you can always open your phone and find 50 other single people in your area that would potentially go on a date with you. And obviously, if you meet anyone that's not perfect straight away, then that can basically deter you from ever really committing to anyone. I mean, I suppose probably I've had that, not so much with the apps and stuff. I'll get into that later, but just with my life being quite strict, the way I set it out, the way I work, I spend most of my day, I wake up thinking just about comedy and what I can do and how much work I can put into it, working in the evenings when people would mostly go for the dinner and drinks, the classic date. So I feel like sometimes I put people under pressure. Maybe if I meet them for the first time, it's got to be really good, really quickly. Otherwise, I'm not going to really give them the patience. So maybe, if you're a boomer, if you're meeting someone in the 70s or even the 80s, you just you live near me, I like you, I find you attractive. Do you want to basically spend the rest of our lives together and have kids? Maybe that was as simple as it was. But then I will say, though, I don't know if those relationships were happier. Easier to get in them, but happier, I don't know. I don't meet many people whose parents feel happy. That doesn't sound good, does it? I mean, my parents, I think they're good now, but there was a long period of time where I thought they were definitely going to get a divorce for sure. And it felt like there was a very obvious decision. And this would have been when I was probably in my mid-teens, maybe 15. I'm probably 15. My sister's 17, somewhere around that time. Around my mum's 50th birthday. That I felt like there was a very obvious decision where it was like, well, we'll just stay together because it's good for the kids who are in a very pivotal time in their life. They're applying to uni, they're going through puberty and all this sort of stuff, and having exams and all that sort of stuff. So we don't want to throw a divorce on them as well. And also, my mum's 50, my dad's would have been sort of 56, 57. And from their end, I think it was a case of well, what are we going to do here? We're going to go out and find other people, we're going to get in other relationships. We'll probably just be too single people for the rest of our lives and split up the family. So we should probably stay together. I don't know if that's true. That's how I felt at the time. I've never asked my dad. Never asked him specifically. Wouldn't ask my mum. She wouldn't tell me. There's nothing wrong. Nothing's ever been wrong. What's been going on with you? Well, my dad might let me know. So yeah, so maybe there's a little bit of solace in that. Relationship's easier for the parents' generation to get in them, yeah. But I don't know if they're happy. I think that's why divorce rate and all that sort of stuff has increased, because people want to be happy in their relationships. They don't just grin and bear it. They're given a voice, potentially, especially for women, having agency in their own relationships that, 30, 40 years ago wasn't as readily available. This is from Naomi Data, 1706. Man, you're old. Fair play. Born in 1706. Hey, Ali. I've been watching all your podcasts, not in a baby reindeer kind of way, FYI. I mean, I don't know how you watch the podcast in a baby reindeer way, but I mean, if I see the curtains move, if I see someone outside my window when I'm Naomi, I know you. And look, if you're that old, then I'm taking you. I can take you out, 100%. I don't care. I've got to defend myself. Keep them coming. You have a huge fan base. That is lovely. But that is lovely, Naomi. I don't care if you're baby reindeer. Just keep listening to the pod. Share it with your friends. Appreciate you so much. You've also said, in reference to the premiere last week, uncool is the new cool. Also totally agree that you need to be yourself in a relationship. This is what I'm saying. I don't get how people end up in a relationship where they feel like they push their personality down. I just don't get it. Or they have to be a version of themselves, the only version of themselves that their partner will agree with. I just personally don't get it. Finally, Adam McJohns. Adam C. Johns. Adam C. Johns 88. Apologies for that, Adam. I feel you on the football. I'm here to watch this match and nothing else. Leave me alone. That is what it's about. I said to him we should go watch a game together, because that is what it's about at the end of the day. We're here to watch football, man. Last night we were watching the England game. Had people over for that. That was a lovely thing, being able to host my friends. Terrible game of football. At least we didn't lose. Got an important point, but honestly, just tragic stuff. Tragic stuff. But at least we're basically almost through to the knockout round, so that's good. More football to come. And also, it's just so good. My dad came round, hanging out with some of my close mates, having a few beers, drinks. Afterwards, going and having some pizza, watching a better quality game outside with the sun setting. Man, summer evenings are the best. They make me so romantic. Have you ever watched that film Adventureland? That's how it feels for me. That is the feeling of summer, man. Adventureland, for me, personified in a film. It's just, if you've never watched it, it's about this theme park, this amusement park in America that all these teenagers go work at. They're falling in love, they're breaking up, they're miscommunications. It's a rom-com, it's great. But it's more comedy, it's generally funny. Jesse Eisenberg, Ryan Reynolds, Kristen Stewart. Yeah, it's great. But the summer evenings, man, just make me feel romantic. I hope I never lose that. Genuinely, I hope I never lose that. I hope as old as I get, when I feel just that sort of, 25, 30 degree day become a sort of, 18 degree evening, and the sun's setting and it's just magical. I always feel just 19 again, man. It's the best. No one can take it away from me. Come on, man. It's the best ever. And I hope you feel that way too. Hope you're looking after yourselves. I'm loving the football on at the moment. It is genuinely brilliant having a Euros tournament. I didn't watch the World Cup because it was in Qatar and I didn't agree with that decision. And now I'm getting to enjoy an international tournament in Germany, because Germany, as a country, I don't think they've ever done anything wrong. Not as far as I know. So, it's great having the football on so much, being able to watch it, just chill out. The memes, I'm in my element, man. And I know that makes me basic. We were having this conversation the other day, me and a couple other comedians, where it's like, you spend so much of your life becoming a professional comedian. Then when you actually do, you go on dates and meet people and stuff, and they ask, so what are your hobbies? And you go, what do you mean? My life is comedy. I don't know. Yeah, okay, I get, but that's your work now. I get that, but what would you do for fun? What's makes you interesting outside of just your work? I said, don't ask me some damn questions like this, man. Don't ask me these invasive questions. How dare you? I'd rather talk about my favourite sexual position than talk about this. But this is that's the problem. This was all I can say is football. Generally, it makes me so basic. But that is the only other thing I'm like truly just regularly passionate about. I listen to like a film podcast. I love watching films, but truly I don't do it. Remember we talked about this podcast before. You are your habits. And there's no point sitting here being like, oh yeah, no, I'm a huge film fan, or like I'm really into music. I never go to a live gig for music. I don't go to the cinema enough. I go to the cinema maybe once a month at most. So I can't be lying to you. But maybe that's another goal. Maybe that's a goal to work on. What are your hobbies, man? What do I actually do? I mean, what do you do? Listening to this, I'm talking to you right now. What's your hobbies? Like what outside of your work and watching TV at home, and basic stuff like cooking your own meals. I'm not hearing any of this. I'm really into cooking when you're not going and trying out new recipes or anything like that. When you're just cooking at home. Or if you have people over to cook for them because you want to try stuff, that's cooking, man. But I'm not having this. I microwave a pasta. Come on now. What are you into? What do you do? I could say the gym, but that's even more basic. I mean, what's it? I go to the gym, yeah, but that's just for superficiality. I go to the gym because it's easier trying to be good looking than trying to be a good person. If I just work on my body, then people will think I'm a better person in their life than I am. It's very clever, all this. I go to the gym so that I don't have to listen to people's stories and, remember their birthdays and, all that sort of stuff, man. Because if you're not looking after yourself physically, which you're welcome to do whatever you want, whatever you're comfortable with. But if you're not doing that and you want people to like you as well and listen to you, you got to be funny, you got to be nice, you got to be all this stuff. Whereas if you just go and have a diet and do some reps and stuff, you get away with things. There's pretty privilege is a thing. And that's what I'm going for. I'm trying. My ideal is never having to be nice to anyone. But unfortunately, that's never going to happen because I'm not that good looking. What can you do? Mate, I'll tell you what. Last week, Sunday, a gorgeous milestone for me. We had Father's Day, Brasserie Zedel. If you're looking for a nice French restaurant in London, a bistro, beautiful place, take your mum there, take your date there, whatever you want. It's great for all occasions. Brasserie Zedel in Piccadilly, fantastic. They got a prefix menu as well, 20 quid for 3 courses. They're not even paying me any money for this. This is how much I love this restaurant. Anyway, my dad suggested it. They'd never been. I was like, yes, let's go. We went, 4 people, my pregnant sister's there. I'm always asking, how are you? How's it? It's crazy. I've never had someone that close to me be pregnant. And it is crazy that she's creating life in her, man. I told her she lost weight. Ooh, I was so excited to use that joke on her. It is insane that she's incubating a life, a human life. And I keep asking her, what's going on? How's things? How's the baby? She's like, yeah, it's fine. It's all right. And it's all good. Man. Anyway, 4 of us all getting on. Everyone's in good mood. Food is great. Have a drink. England are playing late that evening, so it's exciting. The Euros are kicking off. And the bill comes. Bang. Pay for it. Ali Woods. Bang. Yes. Yes. I paid for the bill, man. It was a wonderful feeling in my life. That is the best. It's the best. My dad was giving the whole no, you're not going to pay for it, and he goes to my mum, we're going to let them pay for it. My mum is the enforcer. He knows he hasn't got authority in that family situation. My dad knows he needs to get in the KGB, the Secret Service. Mum will sort it out. If a job needs doing, if someone needs to have their opinion change, she will make that happen. Are we going to let them do this? Bless him, this man's 71. He's still asking, what do you think? Bless him, man. But yeah. So I said with my sister, we'll split it, but I'm not gonna split it with her, man. She's she's got a baby on the way. So I just got to throw down, bang, card on the table. Pay for it. It's a wonderful feeling. That is just honestly such an incredible thing that I'm very fortunate in my life now because I'm able to earn a bit more money now. A lot of that's through doing brand partnerships, by the way. People ask you sometimes this. I don't know if you know this, but these social media apps, they don't pay you diddly squat, man. There's nothing they pay you. So TikTok will now only if you do over a minute videos, which I don't do. I do short form stuff. Instagram, you get nothing. I got a receipt last month for my monthly earnings. 1p. A penny. Thank you, Meta. Appreciate you supporting the creators. To be fair, Zuckerberg's a bit strapped for cash. Facebook don't have the followers to get the money off that. I don't know about that. Twitter pay you nothing. You know, you can have a video get 6 million views, you get nothing. So YouTube is the one where you can get money, but I don't have the following on there, so that's you're trying to build that up. So please, if you don't subscribe, please subscribe to this channel if you're watching it. Please do. But anyway, it's adverts. The brands who pay me money to advertise their products online, man, you get money off that and the live shows and being able to spend that money on family. Like, I'm so grateful to my mum and dad. They've given me such a great life, such a great childhood. I mean, obviously they like mentally scarred me forever, but that is part of the course about having parents. It's not their fault. That's just having parents. They fuck you up, your mum and dad. You know that poem. So to be able to spend that money on them is just gorgeous. Man. I was buzzing. I was so happy after that, man. Obviously then, you know, had to rearrange some finances, but it's fine. It's all right. It's good. That was a good milestone for me. Also this week I did a private birthday party for this guy who I did it for him last year as well. Really lovely dudes. And it was lovely of him to welcome me back. I didn't know if he'd want me back, but he was his entertainment at his birthday parties. Last year, and I don't know if he's watching this, man, but this is a story, right? Last year, I turn up, and he's just like, first thing he says to me is, "You look just like you do on social media." I was like, all right, cool. Cool, man. and then he's like, okay, we got a sort of, you right to just chill over there. It's upstairs in a bar. There's no microphone. There's no stage. None of that. So I'm just sitting in the corner. He's like, oh, is it all right? I was supposed to go at like 7:15 or something. He's like, oh, we're waiting on people. Is it all right to allow? I'm like, it's all good, bro. Don't worry, man. Just have a good birthday. I'm happy, whatever. The time's ticking on. I'm just sitting in the corner chilling. He's like, do you want a drink or something? Do you want a beer? I'm like, no, I'm all good, mate. Don't worry about me. I'm all good. Just chilling here. And then he comes up to me. He's like, I just waiting on a few people. It's so good. He's like, do you want some gear? Take the edge off. And then I go, oh no, I'm okay, thank you. He's like, yeah, all right, good decision, smart, yeah. I shouldn't have done so much coke before I got here. Fuck's sake. So I was like, all right, cool, man, no worries, all good. And then the performance starts. He introduces me by going, you know, I normally have entertainment here. Well, I saw this chap online, and I tell you what, he's going to do a great strip show for us. Only joking, he's going to do comedy. Here he is, Ali Woods. I get up, I do the gig, 20 minutes. It's fine. Look, some people are talking, some people are watching. I don't mind. I perform to the people who are watching. Whatevs. I'm all good, man. Don't have a bit of chat with some of the people. It's fine. And then I look at him because I'm like, the only thing is I want him to have a good time. That's it. That's all one of these birthday parties that I've done before. I just want the person who's organising it to have a good time, really. That's all it's about. And so I look at him and he's just like tweaking. And he's just looking at anyone who talks, he's just looking at them. And he goes, afterwards, I finish, I'm like, thanks everyone, great, okay, cheers. I go up to him and I'm like, hey man, I'm going to leave, but like, thanks so much for having me. Like, did you have a good time? Did you enjoy it? And he's like, yeah. Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy it? It's a bit fucking annoying when people talk, isn't it? I was like, oh mate, it's all good, don't worry. I just left. Bless him, man. This week, came back a year on, birthday party time. This time we had a mic. And some people listening, I had maybe 20, 30 people listening. I'd say about 40 people talking. And I just did the performance, man. So people were listening. We'll see how it is. Bless him, he was there. I don't think he even heard. But he was just like, I think he's just excited. I think there were other people coming in. I think it was a drag act coming in and stuff like that. I think he just has a big party. And to be fair to him, man, it looked sick. It looked great. And he's having a good time. He was a lot more chill this time, man. It was cool. He's a nice guy. I just hope these people have a good time, man. Right, so that's been my update. But look, I've got to say, man, I've got to move on because This is an Ali Was broadcast first. Last week, we had the first ever voice message coming in on struggles. This week, it is my honor to say it's an Ali Was broadcast first. We're the first ever 2 voice messages coming in. So appreciate you so much for sending them in. Thank you very much to everyone who does. And we're going to try solve these problems. Here we go. This is the first one.
Hey Ali, just sending a quick question for the podcast. What I'm struggling with is how to meet people organically in a romantic, biblical sense. So I'm on the dating apps and they are eating my soul, and everyone I meet from there is emotionally available and terrified that I will fall in love with them. So I asked my friends if they can set me up, if they know anyone single, but apparently I'm the only single woman in all of London. So yeah, do you have any insight about that? Thank you for the podcast, it's really great. It's a fun Sunday listen. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for sending that in. Firstly, I don't know what it is about voice messages, podcast. Do they have to be on treadmills? Why is everyone out of breath? Is everyone running around? Is there a marathon going on? Is that when people listen to my podcast? Maybe they listen to it on the run. Last week, it was a hike. She didn't even mention what that was. Didn't even mention what it was. But look, let's break it down. Let's break down the struggle here. So the struggle here, how do you meet people in a romantic sense? On the apps, keep meeting emotionally unavailable people and people that are scared that she's going to fall in love with them. Asked friends, but they don't know any single people. So where do we go from here? This is a tricky one. Firstly, what I'll say on the apps, do you have a type? I'm just putting it out there. Maybe because you keep meeting emotionally unavailable people and people who are scared you're going to fall in love with them, are you only dating people who aren't ready for a relationship? Is that a type? Ask yourself this question. Do you get put off? Is it an ick if a guy is really open about wanting to have a girlfriend or wanting to settle down? Does that put you off? Something to ask yourself, because if there's a pattern, then you got to ask yourself something. What is it about these sort of people that I get attracted to? With the apps, I'll say I haven't been on dating apps for over 7 years. And not because I've been in a relationship, I just got completely bored of them. There was a time in 2016, me and a couple of friends, we moved into a random flat in sort of Vauxhall Oval area. And it was a shithole, but it was our shithole and it was great, man. It was like we were 22, we all moved in. The guy who lived below us was like professional criminal. That was his job, Mikey. He one day just removed his windows because he said they were too old and then never replaced them with anything. I just put sheets down there. One time in the morning, I was in the shower. I hear doo, doo, doo on the door. Fortunately, one of the other guys goes and gets it. I come out of the shower. There's police at our door. And they go, does Michael, blah, 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 I don't remember his surname, live here? And we went, oh, Mikey, he lives next door. So he, in a previous arrest, had given his address as the next door one. So we'd give him time to escape. So anyway, we all moved into this flat. And we were like, we're all single, we're all going to go on the apps and help each other and support each other. I wasn't doing comedy as much. I was doing like 1 or 2 gigs a week at this point, so I had time for dates. But I just got so bored, man. I got so bored of the chatting and the admin, and it was just like another inbox to deal with. And also, I'm not good on Messenger. I don't want to spend my life on Messenger. I don't know about you guys. My friend said that. He was like, my life is just a series of inboxes. You know, it's just, I go to work and it's just clearing that inbox of emails, and then I'm on my phone, it's just clearing the inbox of WhatsApps, and I'm on dating apps, it's just clearing the inbox of dating apps. And I'm like, I don't want my life to be that, man. That's why he was saying that's why he's a bad messenger, because he's like, I hate just having to always just clear inboxes. What's the point? So anyway, I got bored of it. I got off the apps. What I'll say to you is, look, I'm not so expert in finding love. I would have said, first thing I would have said was ask your friends for setups, because that is a good shout. But yeah, well done for already doing that. So it's a case of, I think, potentially it is pursuing with the apps and maybe being more open to dating people who aren't your type. This is what I say. This is my advice, and I'm not saying it's good advice. I'm just saying this is what I would do. Be open to dating people who maybe aren't necessarily your type on paper, and see how those go. Because it sounds like maybe you're meeting a certain type of person because you're attracted to a certain type of person, and that person is not ready for a relationship. Maybe that's what turns you on. You got to think about it. And then, secondly, what I'd say to you is, I think you got to just be open to asking people in real life, man. I know it's tough. I know it's tough to where are these people? I know, but just be out, say yes to things, go to parties, go to weddings, chat to people, be willing to ask people out in real life, ask for people's numbers. It's exciting, man, and it's good. And then another thing I would say is potentially going back to the hobbies, what are you interested in? What are your hobbies? Could you go and do something like pottery making or whatever? Maybe that would introduce you to other people and meet people that way. And then outside of that, just hunker down, man. Just hunker down. Believe it will happen to you. Be happy with who you are. Be happy with yourself. And just know it's going to happen. And you don't have to force it. And it's better to wait for the right person than to be one of these people who tries to make someone the right person. Because, at this age, at 30, man, everyone's getting married. Everyone's looking like they're moving on with their lives. But, necessarily, that might not be happily ever after. You know what I mean? So don't feel threatened by that. But appreciate you. Good luck out there. I'm sure you'll find someone, no problem. And if there's anyone who's listening to this podcast who would like a date, maybe that's a way to set us up. Maybe there's two Ali Was broadcast listeners who heard her voice and was like, well, look, that sounds like someone good for me. Maybe we could hook each other up. Okay, here's the second voice message. Thank you very much for that one. Here we go. Problem number 2.
Okay, here you go. Do you know that distant relative who only shows up on certain family events? Okay, so the thing is, whenever we get together, she ends up asking me why I'm still single and when I'm gonna get a fucking baby. When she does that, my mom usually chimes in and keeps asking me the same questions. I told them I don't want kids or even get married. I'm really fine by my own. Thank you so much. But the thing is, they think this is absurd and that I need to settle down. I am fucking settled down. And now they call me arrogant because the last time they questioned me about my having kids and getting married, I replied, if you guys really want a kid, just go get one yourselves. There are plenty of them in need of a home out there. So my question is there any other way out of this shit, or should I keep hitting the mark until they stop? Help.
Also, he came up with an idea for this himself.
Keep asking myself, should I fake a daughter and pay the kid to pretend she's my daughter whenever I have a family party?
I mean, that's not a bad idea. Pay your daughter. Right. Let's get into that one. So that's also almost the opposite problem. Someone who is settled, single, happy, having a good time. And they're under pressure from their parents, from their mum and their elderly relatives to settle down, to have kids and stuff like that, but they don't want it. You know what? I do find this one actually really tricky because what my go-to instinct is to say, look, fuck them. You do your life. It's their job to get on board with you. If they really want to support you, they'll be happy for you. But it is hard when you want to keep this family in your life. I get it. It's very difficult. But look, I do think you got to have some resolve here. And yeah, ask some questions. It's like, what do you want me to do here? Because I don't want that. So what do you want me to do? Are you going to be happy for me? I know it's tricky, I know it's tough, and this person also says that they're 30 as well, so they're at a similar age to me and seemingly quite a few of other these listeners. So it's a tricky one, but I'd say, you got to be okay with that conversation. I'd say meditate. I'd say don't let it affect you. You got to understand these things come from a place of love. I've had to deal with that from my own mum as well. My mum, I remember when I told her I wanted to do stand-up comedy I wanted to do that full time. I was like, right, I finished uni. I was like, right, what I want to do, I think, is I want to be a comedian. I'm going to maybe stay at home, live with you guys, get a part-time job, waiting tables or something like that, just to pay my way. But then basically I want to spend every evening just going out and gigging. And my mum said, there is no way you're doing that. If you wanted to be a comedian, you would have done it by now. I was 21 at the time, by the way. You just want to be a student all your life. And I was like, no, I want to do comedy because I love it. And she goes, well, I love eating biscuits and watching Coronation Street, but no one's going to pay me to do that. She said I had to get a graduate level job. But that all came from a place of love. And look, we had beef at that point. I was like, I can't believe you're not supporting this. I went out, got a job. And, but now she's super happy for me. We've reached a place, but she was just worried about me. She was just worried. So if there's a way you can show your mum and your and your elderly relative that they don't need to worry. If there's a way, if you can think of a way to show them, because they're just worried about you. I think they obviously have come from a world where what you have to do at this age is to have a kid and get married, and they think not doing that is some sort of cry for help or something that is unhappiness, right? So is there a way you can show them how happy you are? Is there a way you can bring them into your life in other ways, show them your success? And then otherwise, look, I think with the family stuff, we know what it's like with family. When you hang out with them, you regress to your most childish. I get the same thing. No one can push my buttons like my mum and my sister, man. Those two, they can say 4 words and I'll be raging, but you got to just rise above it. Meditate, be happy. Take the high road. That's what you got to do. And honestly, I think they will accept it in time when they see that you're happy. After a couple of years, they will appreciate it. And if they don't, look, you just got to take the high road. If you want them to still be in your life, you got to accept that is their sensibility. They're from a different age, and if you want them to be there, you just got to be okay with that. But look, those are 2 great problems. I hope maybe those give them some advice. If you've got any advice as well on this, when you're listening to this, send it in, man. DM me on Instagram, or even better, comment on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, comment on YouTube and send in your advice for those people. And maybe we get a nice little agony uncle, aunt, and everything in between forum going. But until then, thank you so much for listening to this. I really appreciate you. If there's anything in particular you want me to talk about on the AWB broadcast, please do let me know. If you want to support the podcast, the Patreon link is always just in the description of the episode, so you can just click that, become a Patreon subscriber. I am working on the idea of getting longer episodes and stuff, but it's just me doing this at the moment, so I'm finding that tricky just to navigate that, to release sort of 2 episodes at a time. So yeah, appreciate you so much. If you do want to support, that would be awesome. Thank you so much. But otherwise, look, hey, sun's shining. Whatever you're doing right now, I believe in you. You can do it. Enjoy yourself. Look after yourself. Do what you love. Be with people you care about. Who knew that hanging out with friends was nice? Who knew that? As always, I've been Ali Woods. You've been the best, okay? Look after yourself. Take care. Bye-bye.